Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Maricita Colors in English. We are in a workshop and today I will show you my knitted sweater, Juliana, that I made with this yarn. It's like a ribbon. And the pattern I will let you on the comments and on the description box. Thank you to be here. Today I will show you how I made my sweater Juliana. I made two pieces the same. I used the rib stitch here in the waistband. After this I made 4 rows of the stockinette stitch. The stockinette stitch is the knit stitch in the front and the purl stitch in the reverse. And after this I made this stitch. I used the knit stitch, only that double. I will show you now this fantasy stitch. This pattern I made yesterday for my channel in Spanish. You can follow me too on my channel Maricita Colors en Español. I will tell you some how I made this sweater. I used the needles number 6,50 millimeters. Approximately I use 300 grams of yarn. This yarn is like ribbon, cinta en español. I made two pieces the same without increases or decreases. I made 80 stitches in the waistband and always I had the 80 stitches. What more information? I made in the waistband 7 centimeters of the rib stitch. After this I made 4 rows of the stockinette, and after this fantasy stitch. I alternate the stockinette and the fantasy stitch. My sweater is in a size large. In the waistband I have approximately 40 centimeters, but remember that the rib stitch always is like this, like elastic. It's a stretch, the rib stitch. From long, I made approximately 40 centimeters, 15 inches approximately. And in the waistband too, I made approximately 15 inches. So I need a size large. You can make for 19 inches of wide and 19 inches of long. My sweater was a little not so big. I will show you here. Let me show you the sweater. I researched my iPad. I hope that here is. This is the sweater that I will show you. I use this yarn. It's like ribbon. I made two pieces the same, and when I had the two pieces ready, I joined the shoulders and the laterals. So now I will give you a little refresh how you can make this nice sweater. Yesterday I made this little pattern with the needle number 4 millimeters. But look, it's very tight. And for a sweater that we use in summer, maybe we must use another needle, maybe one number 5 or 6. I made my sweater with the needle 6,50 millimeters. But today, this little pattern I will make with the needles number 6 because the yarn, this ribbon, is, look, is thick. So we will learn a little of knitting today. I will show you the basic stitches, the cast on, and to the knit and pull stitches and the fantasy stitch. Thank you to be here. Thank you for your like. We are in a workshop. Now it's 12 and 23 in the afternoon. Here in Germany is the 12 and 23 minutes. Today is February 3 of 2026. Thank you to be here. Subscribe you and activate the bell to receive the post when I have a new pattern. This was my last live. I made this granny square because I have a sweater with a granny square, and I will let you the pattern at the end on the comments and on the description box, like my sweater Juliana. Thank you. Okay, I will make a little pattern. Here I made 20 stitches, so I will repeat the same for, look how is the work, okay? I will use the needle number 6 millimeters. We begin. We must involve 20 times the yarn on the needle, or maybe you make 50 stitches, so you must involve 50 times. I will make 20 times, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 y 20. 20 times the yarn on the needle. I let some centimeters more, and from here I catch strong and I let free the yarn. Ready. I calculate the yarn for 20 stitches. So from the point that we calculate, we begin the cast on. I will make the stitches on the needle. Voy a tejer los puntos en la aguja. Okay, with the 2 fingers we help us. This is my technique. I come from Peru, South America, and this is the technique that I learned from my mother. Okay, we'll open the yarn and we cut with these 2 fingers, and we open here, and with the needle from the center of this big loop, we bring the yarn to the front, and from left we make a big loop, look. And inside of this big loop we bring the yarn of the right. And ready, we have 2 stitches. Look, we have the yarn of the left and from the right. And now we bring the needle to the front. We open, we bring the yarn, and from the left we make the big loop, and inside of this big loop we bring the yarn of the right. This is the cast on. Look how I made rapido, schnell, or quickly. Left, a big loop, and inside the yarn of the right. Left, right. Left, right. Left. On my pattern that I will let you on the comments and on the description box, I show you step by step all the stitches too. This is only a refresh for that you can see. Maybe you are new here on YouTube and you can see how I make the stitches on the needle. We can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I have 18, 19, and 20. But I think I will make more stitches. 20, 21, 22. You must use odd numbers. Let me see, odd numbers. I have 80 stitches. Let me see, odd numbers is, I always confuse. Odd number is the 1, 3, 4. Okay, even number. You must use always even numbers. You must make a little pattern with your yarn and needles for to know how many inches or centimeters make your thread. You must make some rows because with more rows, like here, you can see how many centimeters or inches make. When we make the rib stitch, this will be the waistband, the half, because we must make two pieces the same without increases or decreases, sin aumentos ni disminuciones. Thank you for your like. Don't forget to let me your like, for that I can make more workshops in life. Okay, we turn the knitting work and I will use another needle, the number 6, and I will make the rib stitch. For that I make the rib stitch, I must use the knit and the purl stitches. One knit, one purl, one knit, one purl, and we must repeat. We alternate, okay? So we begin. This is the first stitch. We must have a little careful because open, this is the yarn. So we must make a little, we must have a little careful. We enter from the left to the right inside of the stitch, yarn to the center of the both needles. We back the needle and we go out of the stitch. And this goes out. This is the knit stitch. Now I make the yarn to the front because I will make the purl stitch. The purl stitch from the right to the left, inside of the stitch. We involve the needle and we go out of the stitch and we have the new stitch. Now that we have two stitches, we can pull a little the yarn of the beginning. Yarn to the back because I will make the knit stitch from the left to the right. We insert on the stitch or into the stitch, the yarn into the center of the two needles, and the needle must go out of the stitch and catch the new stitch. This is the knit. The yarn to the front, we make the purl, and yarn to the back, we make the knit, and we alternate. One knit, one purl, one knit, one purl. I know that skip or there are a lot of techniques to make the stitches, but this is mine. This is from my country. I come from Peru. And this is the technique that my mother used. And I love the technique. Thank you for your like. We make the rib stitch. The rib stitch is one knit and one purl stitch. Yarn to the front, we make the purl. Yarn to the back, and we make the knit stitches. In my sweater, I have 80 stitches. I use the same yarn, this ribbon, and the needles number 6,50 millimeters. I will see how is with these needles number 6, only 6 millimeters. So, thank you for your like. We make one workshop in live. Hola, Dayan. Thank you to be here. Yeah, the sweater you can find here. You can write here on YouTube, knitted sweater Juliana. But at the end of this at the end of this workshop, I will let you the pattern on the comments and on the description box. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for your like. Look, we have even number, and we begin We began with one knit and we finish with one purl stitch. We pull a little and we will see how is this yarn with these needles. Okay, we begin again with the knit stitch. When you make one knit, in the opposite is one purl, and when you make one purl, in the opposite is one knit stitches. Always we will beginning with one knit stitch. Yarn to the front, one purl, yarn to the back, one knit, yarn to the front, one purl, one to the back, yarn to the back, and we repeat. I use 300 grams of this yarn, but you can use all the yarns. You can make this sweater for winter too, with wool, acrylic, alpaca, with all the yarns. It's a nice sweater, and you can make 2 sleeves if you want. I have here on my channel one vest, a knitted vest, where I made sleeves. So if you write me, I can let you the pattern on the comments and on the description box. I have 16 sweaters here on my channel. In knitting, I have 3. This is Juliana, and another is the sweater, knitted sweater, Petra. We pull, and look, we turn the knitting work. And one tip, when the yarn of the beginning is in the right side, to me, this is the front of the work. Look here, the border. In the back is like lines. But I like here like a knotting. But sure, you can use the side that you prefer. Okay, we begin again. One knit, yarn to the front, one purl, yarn to the back, one knit. In my sweater, I made 14 rows of the rib stitch, 14. That made 7 centimeters of long. I will show you again my sweater. I hope my iPad is a little more research. Thank you to be here. And look, the knit and purl stitch make together the rib stitch. We alternate. The knit stitch is this, and the purl is like a knotting. With this needle and the yarn, it's more easy to show you the stitches. To finish, always I pull a little for that the border is uniform. I will show you again. We will see if I have the research. Remember that you can find me too on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you to be here, and thank you for your like for make more workshops in the week. We will see if my iPad wake up. Okay, here is the photo. I will show you the sweater Juliana. This is the sweater Juliana. Look, the fantasy stitch. I will show you now too. This is the same yarn. But you can use the yarn that you prefer, remember. Look, here is the waistband when I made it, the long. This is the rib stitch. On my pattern, I show you all the steps. We don't make increases or decreases, only we make two pieces the same, and when you have the size, you finish again with rib stitch on the neck. And at the end, you close the two shoulders and you let the armhole and close the laterals, and ready. You can make a little longer. Maybe I made a little short, but you can make longer your sweater. Thank you for your like. So now I make always the rib stitch. Rib stitch in Spanish, punto elástico. Elástico. I don't know if you use this word in English. Elastic. The pull is from the right to the left. Always we enter inside of the stitch. The yarn involve the needle, and we go out with the needle out of the stitch. And this is the new stitch. The knit from the left to the right, yarn to the front, and this is the new stitch. And we alternate one knit and one pull stitch. You can make the length of your waistband that you prefer. Thank you for your like. Don't forget that you can collaborate with my channel and you can be a member of my channel 1 month, 2 months. And like this, I can make more workshops on the week. We finish always with the pull stitch. We pull and look here in the border. In the border, if you see that it's so loose, the needle is a little bigger for the yarn. But here you can see that the border is uniform. That means that these needles are correct for this yarn. Now, for the front, always I make the changes of the stitches, okay? This is the front of the work. Now I will make the stockinette stitch. How is the stockinette stitch? The stockinette stitch, o punto jersey en español, is one knit in all the round or row and one pull in the reverse. Super easy. This is a basic sweater. We make only knit stitches. Punto derecho en español. Look, super easy. Nur or only knit stitches, or Restemache in German. Actually, I live in German. For this, I learned a little the words of the stricken. The knitting is a stricken in German. Look, it's very easy. We pull, we turn, and now, look, we made only knit stitches in the front, and now look, in the reverse come the pull stitches. Now, for the reverse, I will make only pull stitches, punto revés. We insert from the right to the left, we involve, and we go out of the stitch, and ready. Thank you for comment, share, and give one like to my workshop in live. Muchas gracias, chicas. So, look, we make only pull stitches. We insert, we involve, and the needle go out from the stitch and catch the new yarn, the new stitch, and this goes out. Pull stitch en español, punto revés. Repite conmigo. You must say for that you remember. Pull stitch, punto revés. Knit stitch, punto derecho. Rib stitch, punto elástico. Look, the pull stitch. Always we pull And look my border, how is uniform. Okay, in my sweater, I made 4 rows of the stockinette stitch. Now I have 2. So we will make the same quickly. If you make your sweater, remember first make a little pattern like this with your needles, and you will see how many stitches you need for half the 19 inches, that is one large size, no? The waistband for one large is 19,6 inches, 50 centimeters en español. We use the centimeters. Look, here we made only knit stitches, super quickly. And now the purl stitch. Remember that I will let you this pattern on the comments and on the description box when I finish this workshop. Taller en español. Now, in the reverse, only we make the purl stitch. Super easy. Look, the purl stitch, beautiful. If you are new in knitting, try to practice. Sorry, this is the important. Thank you for your like, and thank you to be here with me. We make my sweater Juliana. So here I will make the last stitch, we pull, and look the stockinette stitch. In the front, the knit stitch, and on the reverse, the purl stitch. Now, I will make the fantasy stitch. Look, this is the fantasy stitch. I made this with the needle number 4, for this is more tight. And with these 6 millimeters, I think looks perfect with this yarn. But you can use cotton, acrylic, all the yarns. Okay, now we make the fantasy stitch. It's super easy. I will use the knit stitch only that we will make double. How is double? Look, we make the knit and we make again 2 times the yarn on the needle and ready. 2 times, ready. 2 times. 2 veces en español. 2 times. 1 and 2. And we make the knit stitch. 1 and 2. And we make the knit stitch. I made one sweater for me when I was younger with this fantasy stitch that was super easy and very nice. You will see. I alternate stockinette stitches 4 rows and the double knit stitch. Only 2 rows I made of this fantasy stitch, you will see. And we alternate only until that we have the centimeters or inches that you prefer. You can compare with a sweater, with a blouse. Now we turn the missing work. And here we must make the purl stitch, but double. And we must go out one of the yarns. Look, we insert in the stitch 2 times, we go out, and now we let free the stitches, the yarn. Again, we insert 2 times, wait, here is my hair. Okay, we insert 2 times, and we go out, and we let free the yarn. Again, 2 times. We repeat only that with the purl stitch 2 times. Thank you for your like. Write me if you want to watch more workshops in the week. Okay, only we make 2 times the double, the purle stitch 2 times. 2 times, I'm sorry, and ready. 2 times, ready. So you must repeat only this fantasy stitch until that you have the size of your sweater, no? Only 2 rows with this fantasy stitch with 2 times the yarn on the needle. We finish here and we pull, and look, here comes the holes, no? Look. One tip, when you make more rows in the rib stitch, the sweater or the waistband is more stretch. When you make vinegar or less rows, it's not so stretch. I made on my sweater 14 rows. And in the neck, when I finished this fantasy stitch and the stockinette, I made only 6 rows in the neck of the rib stitch. We don't make increases, we don't make decreases, we only we use the same stitches, and you must make 2 pieces the same. One is for the back and one for the front. And here we stop to make the double, we begin to make the knit stitch, 1, 2, and we let free the needles, the yarn, no? From the needle. We make 1 knit, and we let free the yarn. Now we make a little tight again our work, our sweater. Look, it's very nice. I will let you this pattern on the comments and on the description box, or you can write knitted sweater Juliana. Thank you to be here, and thank you for your like. Look, how is this nice fantasy stitch? I made now the first row of 4 that I alternate. Now for the reverse, again, the second row of the stockinette stitch. Stockinette, jersey en español, punto jersey. Here only in the reverse, or on the reverse, we make only the purl stitches. And ready. Now you have all the stitches that I use in my knitted sweater Juliana. On my pattern, I made one graphic where I showed you to how I made my sweater. Soon I will make this sweater, I will write this sweater for my store Etsy, for that you can have the PDF. And like this, you can collaborate too with my channel. Look. Now I made the second row of 4. Okay, I will make these 2 rows of the stockinette stitch. This sweater is very nice, and you can use all the yarns. For summer, for winter, you can make sleeves too. If you want see my sleeves, how I made, write me here on the comments, because I have one cardigan, knitted cardigan, Virgo is the name, where I made first one vest in one piece, knitting, And after this vest, I made it in one cardigan because I made sleeves. Look, beautiful or not? It's very nice, really. And you can advance really quickly. Now we make the 4 row of the purl stitches. Thank you for your like. Muchas gracias. I have my channel in Spanish too, where I made workshops in the afternoon, but in Spanish. If you want to learn a little Spanish, you can watch it too. So now only we make here the purl stitches. This is the 4 row. We pull always, and look, you can count here after the fantasy stitch. You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows, like here in the beginning. We turn, and here I must make again the fantasy stitch. Look, it's very nice. I think with this needle number 6 is perfect with this yarn. Look, with the 4 millimeters is so tight. And if I want one sweater for summer, it's better that is a little loose, the work. It's better, look. So I alternate always the stockinette and the fantasy stitch until that I have the long, approximately 40 centimeters, that was 15 inches. But if you want make one large size, it's better make the 19.6 inches. I made it a little short. I have not anymore this sweater, but if I made a new sweater for me, I will make for the 19 or 20 inches, no? 20 inches in the waistband and 20 inches in the long. This is one long, large size. One XL size maybe is 1.6 inches more. So 21 or 22 inches, no? Always are, in centimeters, are 2 centimeters of difference. I think with inches is a little different. But you can see this, in internet. You can looking for the sizes. When I have the long, I made again the rib stitch, one knit, one purl, one knit, one purl, and I made only 6 rows for that the neck is not so long, the neck. It's this sweater is shoulder, how you say, off shoulders, no? You say in English, shoulder, hombro caído, we say in Spanish. I will try to show you again here. If you want your sweater, the neck a little more close, only you sew a little more the centimeters or inches in the shoulders. This is all. And ready, chicas. I will let you this pattern on the comments and on the description box. Thank you very much for your like, subscribe you and activate the bell. And if you like my videos, my patterns, you can be a member, and like this you can collaborate with my channel, with the patterns, with the new patterns. You can find me too on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you very much to all the person that write me, like my dear Diane. I will let you the pattern now on the comments and on the description box. And if you don't find it, please write me and I will try to let on the comments the link. Thank you very much, my dear friends, and we see us in another workshop or another pattern. Knitting and in crochet. Ciao, ciao. Thank you. Thank you, my dear friends. Hasta la vista.